Hello friends, it's Greg here again on the Blue Feather Ephemera channel. I have an eBay store by the same name where I sell vintage magazine print advertising. Today, I came upon some information that I want to share with you. It'll be short and sweet and to the point. Let's get started. As I record this, today is July the 11th, and I've mentioned a couple of times in recent weeks that we have a postal rate increase that's going to be taking effect the day after tomorrow, July the 13th, which is a Sunday. And so when you ship anything beginning Monday or later, the rates are going to be different. What's on screen is the current rate. The new rate I'm going to add to the screen right now. So for most of us print ad sellers and sellers of other ephemera, we just focus mainly on that first pound, and that's what I've overlaid on the screen. That's not the purpose of this video though, and I'll get to that in just a minute. But we have to cover the rate change to get there. Again, we're looking at the first pound, 4 ounce, 8 ounce, 12 ounce, and then up to 16 ounces. I've mentioned the rate change. Other YouTubers are mentioning the rate change. eBay's notified us back on July the 1st, and the Postal Service has also told us about rate changes. I think we know. However, this might be the first time that you're seeing these tables. You may want to pause this, or you may want to follow links that I'm going to put in this video description. But for right now, just know that the typical cost of shipping ephemera within that first pound, the increase is going to average anywhere from about 25 cents up to about 45 cents, depending on the weight and the zone it's going to. Here is one of the ways that the Postal Service has addressed these rate changes. This is the July 2025 price change frequently asked questions. When you go down the page here, I want to point this out to you in case you want to read more about it. This is article number 8236 that you see right there. So you can search on the USPS website 8236 and read this for yourself as you choose to. Now, what you see down here, I want to point out this chart or this table that you see here applies to retail postal customers. But if you sell on eBay and you purchase your shipping labels through the eBay platform, then you're not a retail customer. You pay commercial rates. For example, USPS Ground Advantage, the third item in this table, is what I use to ship all of my vintage print ads. As an eBay seller, I get roughly 20 to 25% off of the retail rate by buying through the platform. In the same way, this percent of increase that you see here for that service, 7.1%, don't apply to the commercial rates. When you get to a chart that shows the commercial rate increase for Ground Advantage mail, it's 4.7%. There's one more thing that I'm going to show on this page before we change topics and get to the point. Down here, there is a Postal Explorer at USPS.com link that takes you to all of the tables for all of the different services and all of the changes that you're going to see effective July the 13th. That's where I took that extract of the Ground Advantage commercial rate chart that I overlaid on that previous image. The real reason for this video, though, is because I want to address with you something that this page and this announcement and these frequently asked questions don't cover. So let's go there next. Here is eBay's own announcement for it. As you can see here on July the 1st of this year, and that's roughly about the same time that I started talking about the rate increase that was proposed. They put out an announcement called July 2025 USPS rate changes. What you can see right under that is talk of some changes to the first class mail, and eBay standard envelope rates. You've got to go on down the page a little bit before you see mention of what would affect my eBay shipping, which is the ground advantage that I use for print ads. It also mentions rate increases for priority mail, media mail, and some other mail services. Now, typically that's all I would look for. What I either didn't see or it didn't register is this line right here. And I think this is going to have a great impact on some sellers. And that's why I wanted to make this video and call it to your attention. Now, I ship flat, so this won't affect me, but as part of what I do to make these videos and also to improve as an eBay seller and have a better store, I look at a lot of different print advertising stores. I probably spend in the neighborhood of, 5 to 10 hours a week just looking at what everybody else is doing, borrowing ideas, benchmarking, whatever you want to call it, not just for my store, so that, but also so that I can bring ideas back to you. What I see out there, what I kind of took in, I considered it, I rejected it for my business model as a shipping idea. There's probably, I won't say a lot, but maybe 5 to 10% of the print ad stores out there are rolling ads, putting them in a protective plastic sleeve, and then putting them inside a mailing tube and using tube mailers to mail out ads. I don't do that because a lot of the ads of the age that I deal with, sometimes the paper is brittle, and I don't want to risk damage to the paper by cracking it or putting into it a permanent crease that you can't take out. I think there's just less appeal to an ad that might still have curl wit in it when it's received because it's been in a tube mailer and all that kind of stuff. I don't use it, but some print ad sellers do. But this is not just about print ads. This is also about sellers who sell like small posters and things like that. Formerly, that $4 surcharge applied to packages of any dimension over 22 inches. Now, if it is a cylindrical tube or roll, it doesn't matter, I guess, if it's 6 inches, 10 inches, 18 inches, or whatever. That $4 surcharge is going to apply. When you think about the typical 11 by 14 large format print ad, it'll fit in a 12-inch tube. It's going to have a new surcharge applied to it beginning Monday that it never had before. That's going to cause some sellers a major headache unless they have other materials on hand to ship with. They might need to change their price structure. They may have a price, where they can build that cost into it and absorb that. They may need to make changes, but I'm putting this out there today because there's just a couple of days left to figure out what changes, if any, ephemera sellers need to make that are using cylindrical tubes or rolls. Before I wrap up, there's just one more thing that I want to address. In that last segment, I used the words I guess. And so I don't ever want to communicate anything that's imprecise or vague or anything like that. So I went searching a little bit deeper. And what I did is I went to the domestic mail manual of the US Postal Service, and this is the rules basically. And so what existed before was this non-standard parcel description, this section 7.6.1, talking about dimensions and weight. Based on the announcements and based on everything that I've read, this 7.6.2 description of characteristics is the part that's new. And this talks about cylindrical tubes or rolls. It talks about cans or wood or metal boxes, a parcel containing more than 24 ounces of liquid in glass containers, or 1 gallon or more of liquid in metal or plastic containers, and then other parcels with contents that may cause the parcel to roll or not maintain the integrity of the packaging during processing. So, that 7.6.2, the characteristics section in DMM 300/201, is the Postal Authority talking about this surcharge change. So, now that that's out there, I just wanted to let everybody know that I was concerned for some sellers who might not be aware. I hope you found this interesting. I hope you got something out of it. And I'd appreciate feedback on the information that I put into this video. Your questions are always welcome. I thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.